This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. With your hosts, the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko.
And head coach Ron James.
Now, Blackjacks Weekly.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. I'm your host, Nick Kosko, joined alongside by Atlantic City Blackjacks head coach Ron James. Linebacker Nick Haag will join the program in a little bit as we discuss this week's matchup against the Columbus Destroyers. Blackjacks coming in at 3-3 after a great victory over the Baltimore Brigade at Boardwalk Hall this past Saturday. Columbus is 0-6 on the season with a loss already to Atlantic City on the schedule. Coach, glad you're with us once more, and already halfway through the season, getting ready for Columbus, and I think you have to go back to Saturday first, though, in that second victory over Baltimore, 35-34. Antron Dillon, the block field goal at the end of the game to clinch it. That's one of the more memorable victories I've ever seen in arena football.
You couldn't make it any more exciting. I mean, the home fans got their money's worth, and we've been able to win, 3 games at home as opposed to 1 loss, and we really got a good home field advantage. We want to keep that up this year, and this last game, wonderful way to finish that game off. I mean, I couldn't have scripted it any better if I'd written it up myself. And like I said, we played hard. We dug a little bit of a hole for ourselves, came back on it, and just showed the resiliency a good team needs to have.
How does a finish like that happen? Take me back to those final moments where you have Baltimore down inside the 10-yard line. They have first and goal, second and goal. All of a sudden now they're trying to score, and to me, I was fascinated by their game plan because they had plenty of time. I thought they would just run the clock out and then, kick it on second and goal or third and goal. They tried to go for that fade route to Joe Hills, and Marvin Ross did a fantastic job defending him. And then all of a sudden, 5 seconds left. Boom, there you have it. Block field goal. The game's on the line right there.
Well, I thought that they managed it actually pretty well because when you get down in that situation, they needed to get a first down to be able to run the clock down. They did that. We were out of timeouts, and that was one of the things I would have liked to have a timeout back, in our back pocket to be able to go out and talk to the team a little bit, maybe set up a block situation. And, ironically, I mean, it wound up working in our favor because they had to hustle up and kick the thing. And of course, Antron made a great play. He just bowled over the right tackle and just put his hand up and knocked it down. I mean, he just took off like a shot. So, I mean, it was one of those things where, when you look at it, they had a first and goal situation. They tried to match up their best receiver with fade balls and running into the corner of the end zone, and we countered by putting Marvin Ross on him. And Skip's got one of the best cover guys in this league and has been for a few years. And so our matchup we thought was good and wound up being better than their matchup in that moment. So you never know how it's going to play itself out, but they elected to run the football, throw a couple fade balls, and keep it to fourth down. And at fourth down, you really have to kick that field goal down by 1. I mean, if you go with another fade ball and come up empty, everybody looks at you like, wow, why did you do that when it's basically an extra point? But, again, we showed resiliency. And one of the biggest things about the ending of that game is had we not turned the ball over with 5 minutes to play, maybe we go up by 8 and we don't have that drama. So, we kind of did it to ourselves, but the defense bailed out the offense in the fact that they came up stout at the end and made the plays necessary several times to be able to win the football game.
You mentioned the drama. When you look at that, what does it actually do to a football team when you win a close game like that? It is at home in front of the home fans. Now you have this 4-game road trip coming up, starting out with Columbus on Friday night. But you look at it and you say, all right, you went 2-1 on the homestand. You end with a dramatic victory, the most dramatic victory of the season, I would say, out of all the teams this season. What does that do to ignite a team that now you're back at 3-3? You're in the thick of the playoff race. I believe you're tied for third right now, tied for second. There's a big cluster of teams at 3-3 again.
Well, what I told the team after the game, and I believe this could be a springboard for success, because when you look at the way you win the game like that, I think it gives the team confidence. The team was looking for that spark or looking for that confident moment that could be that kind of an aha moment where, yeah, we got this, And so I think we gave it to ourselves, and we have to really credit the entire team for showing resiliency. I mean, the defense really stepped up when they needed to step up, but offensively we weren't stopped in the first half. We only stopped ourselves with 2 fumbles, and if we can eliminate those things, I think we got great things ahead for ourselves.
Let's take a look at Columbus now on Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. You can catch that right here on 97.3 ESPN as the Blackjacks travel out to Ohio for that game against the Destroyers. You guys beat them back in Week 2 at Boardwalk Hall. They are still searching for their first win on the season. They're a fellow expansion team this season along with you guys. I would say they're probably in kind of that desperate mode now because, again, with only 6 teams, there are 4 playoff spots. They can still go on a run and still make the playoffs with 6 games to go in the season. But when a team is desperate now, looking for that first win, I mean, how do you play against it and counteract what they're going to try to do to you guys on Friday night?
Well, it's a dangerous situation to be on the road in a short week and playing at a team that really wants to win the football game, and they're playing in front of their home crowd to do so. And so, we've got to be on top of the details. We're a little bit banged up this week, but we try to rest a few of our key players, get ourselves ready for this game. And it was more of a mental approach than it was physical, being on a short week. Had 2 days of practice, and a lot of times I see teams really respond from that adversity, and I think we have to do that. I mean, we have to start winning on the road because we've got 4 out of our last 6 games on the road. This is the first game of our road stand, if you will, or the road run. So we've got to make something happen. And so our players, they're responding all week long. I can see a little bit more of a serious tone to them. They know what's on the line here, and you don't want to be known as that team that goes in and gives a subpar effort on the road against a team that's struggling to win.
Now you guys are looking for that first road victory this season. All the wins have come at home. Obviously, back in week 1, Philadelphia missed opportunity there, and then obviously down in Washington in week 3, just not quite up to par that week. So what changes now that you guys are going back on the road? You know you're going on the road for 4 straight weeks. You guys are back practicing in the Euro Sports Center, not in Boardwalk Hall for at least the next couple of weeks. And what does that do to your team mentally? And do you prepare for Columbus a little bit differently now, considering they've had a little bit of a roster turnover, and I would say that the film might not be the same from week 2 now here until week 7?
It's a slight change in focus, really only because you're trying to get better. And we talk about it all the time. Getting better internally, getting our team better, not worrying about what the other team's going to do, and being more proactive, if you will, in our approach to game planning this week. And so we know that Columbus is a talented team. They just picked up Paul Browning, who was one of our receivers, and he scored 2 touchdowns in the last game. He's a talented guy. They've got a quarterback that's a rookie quarterback that's really learning and doing a good job. They got some young guys in the offensive line as well. But on the defensive side, they're loaded with veterans. They got a veteran middle guy in Varmasoni. Their front 4 is as good as anybody with Summers and with Taylor and with Smith and actually out on the edge with 99 Nick Seether. So they've got some guys that can really get after the quarterback. So we have to be able to be on time with our pass pro and make sure that we're accurate with our throws and make just sure that our offense is really up to snuff this week, because we've been a little inconsistent offensively. So if we can get our offense to play the way the defense has been playing here for the first half of the season, we could be a dangerous team.
The way the previous game against Columbus went was that was the defense's coming out party. You guys were in front the entire game. You controlled the entire game back in week 2 in that home opener. But that was the defense's coming out party. As I mentioned before, you had Monte Lewis with 3 sacks. There was fumbles. Lyndon Trail had a pick 6 in that game. Is that kind of the same approach you want from the defense against Columbus, considering that's where they could be vulnerable with a rookie quarterback back there?
That's the same approach we have every week. We're a very talented defense. When you look at our front group, everybody knows about Antron, they know about Monte because they've been around. But everybody else that's filtering in, Nick Haag and Lyndon Trail and Dante Rumpf, and you're seeing guys that maybe they're not known in this league as much, but they're known in other leagues. They've been known in NFL circles. They're guys that are extremely talented. And, I think they're starting to get noticed in this league, but they've been flying under the radar. We like it that way because they're just going out and they're making plays. If it's not, Dante's turn to make a play, then it's going to be Lyndon's turn, it's Nick's turn, and these guys just keep grinding it out. So and then on the back end, when you got Northington, Ross, and Hobbs, and then now KJ coming off the bench, Karen Jones, and so a lot of these guys that you think that, okay, we got it down. We understand what the rotation is going to be. We know what these guys are going to do. Now all of a sudden you change the rotation a little bit, get some different matchups. Now these guys are making plays and they're doing things in a different sequence than you expect. It's just a lot of confusion going on for the offense, and hopefully for us defensively, we're keeping it ever so basic and simple that we can just attack the football. So I think what you're seeing right now is an evolution of a defense. In the second half of the season, you're going to see better defense, and our offense will catch up to that. And like I said, if that happens, we're going to be a dangerous team down the stretch.
And speaking of one of those defenders, Nick Haag, we will have him join us on the other side of this break. Right now, we're going to step aside and take a quick one as you're listening to Blackjacks Weekly, presented by Bud Light, live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Nick Haag on the other side of this break. Keep it locked to 97.3 ESPN.
This is the NBA Finals. After dropping Game 1 and trailing Game 2 at the half, the Warriors went on a soul-crushing 18-0 run to begin the third and eventually get the W.
Iguodala wide open three. Hits it. 6 seconds left. Andre Iguodala with a Game 2 dagger.
Now the series shifts to Oakland for a critical Game 3.
The NBA Finals, exclusively on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Coverage begins tonight at 8 p.m.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Tropicana Atlantic City is not just a 24-hour gaming destination, it's a premier resort providing entertainment for everyone. Located on the beach and boardwalk, it's home to a wide variety of restaurants, bars, pools, and their very own IMAX theater. This season, Tropicana Atlantic City is proud to team up with the Atlantic City Blackjacks as the 2019 inaugural season presenting sponsor. For more information, visit Tropicana.net. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
The drone industry is growing rapidly in South Jersey, creating an urgent need for drone technicians and pilots. Starting this summer at Atlantic Cape, you can be on the ground floor of it all with their new drone technician and pilot program. Attend Atlantic Cape's free info session on Wednesday, June 19th at 5:30 at the Mays Landing campus. Learn about the future of drones and how you can be a part of it. Visit atlantic.edu/drones to RSVP and find out more. See where Atlantic Cape can take you. This material is based on the work supported by the National Science Foundation under grant number 1801014.
Never go hungry when you have Stir It Up Catering right around the corner. Established in 2002, Stir It Up caters events from Cape May to Philly and everything in between. Catering services range from elegant dinner parties and large weddings to casual food for a laid-back gathering. Standing by the Jersey Fresh motto, Stir It Up Catering supports local farms and fisheries by selecting all homegrown products. Stop by their new storefront off Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township or go online to stirritupnj.com.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it's Blackjacks Weekly. Welcome back. Blackjacks Weekly is presented by Bud Light. Pleased to be joined now by linebacker Nick Haag. He's joined the program for the first time. And Nick, we ask every single player that comes on every single week, how's Atlantic City been treating you?
Phenomenal. It's no complaints at all. It's a great place, great city, and the way they've opened up this team and this franchise has just been great. So from the players' aspect, we all have no complaints, and we're truly blessed to be here.
Now I got to talk about your career now, because you've been all over the place a little bit. You had a stint with the Soul. You didn't quite catch on with them. You're here now, but you had a couple stints in the NFL with the Giants and the Colts. Let's start there first. So tell the audience about your career, your football journey, going from college and then right into arena football, also into the NFL. I mean, you had quite the experience with the Colts, especially.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it started off coming out of college. I didn't get an opportunity right off the bat with an NFL team, nothing like that. So I was lucky enough to get the first pro contract from the Soul. Didn't work out there, and from there went on to Cedar Rapids out in Iowa. Played with the Cedar Rapids Titans in the IFL. Was there for 2 seasons, and after that second season is when I got popped in 2015 with the Colts. Was with them, and then after I got let go with them that following year, then I went out to Spokane. Was in Spokane, Washington for 2 years out there with the Empire, and then I had a quick stint with the Giants then going into 17. And then last year I was fortunate enough to get to play home in an NAL team or Massachusetts Pirates, and it was good just obviously being home besides college and getting to play some pro ball back in my backyard. And now we're here and with the Blackjacks, and man, it's a blessing and couldn't be happy.
What made you choose Atlantic City? I know you, as you mentioned before, you were with Massachusetts last year. I know Keontae played for them as well. So you look at a team like that. I mean, they're a pretty big team up there in one of the other arena leagues. What made you decide to make that jump from there? Because obviously, when you look at the arena football, I mean, the standard arena football league is the tippy top of the indoor leagues. I mean, was that enticing to you to make that jump to a different league and come down to Atlantic City, or were you considering other options as well?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was, a factor in it also. But, just from knowing this coaching staff and the guys that they were bringing in, the veteran guys that were bringing in, I mean, it was a no-brainer. Heard nothing but great things, and I knew this opportunity would be just a great opportunity, a fit for me, and I just knew that this coaching staff would really like what I bring to the table, and it just made it a lot easier to go from there and make that decision.
We've talked to other players before. We've talked to other coaches before as well about you. You're known around here in the locker room as you're the funny guy, but you also, I mean, you bring the energy every single practice. I've been to a handful of practices each week throughout the regular season, and you are. I mean, if a guy's just walking around, I mean, not that they are, but usually the most energy is coming from you. Even if you're on the sideline, you're kind of jump up and down. You're basically itching to get back in there.
Oh, yeah.
Where does that come from? I mean, did you always have that energy playing football since you were little as well?
Yeah, I mean, back when I first started, my father always told me, this is a game that's a man's game, and you got to put your heart into it. If you're going to go out there and just go through the motions, it's not going to work out. I take every single day I come to work, the same way as if I was preparing for a game. And I think that rubs off on guys, and I think they appreciate that. And like I said, it makes it easy to come to work every day with the group of guys we have. I mean, we got so many guys in this locker room who are just all professional and from the top to the bottom of the organization. And that's a blessing. I dreamed of playing professional football since I was 6 years old, and it was always a goal of mine. So every time I get to step into the facility and go to work and look around me and know that I'm a pro football player, I mean, I don't understand how you can't have the hairs and everything get up on you. It just makes it easy. It's life, and it's living out the dream.
You mentioned the camaraderie you had with your teammates, particularly with guys. I know some of your linebacker teammates, LJ Action Jacks, as he likes to be called. He tells me all the time to call him, and I do oblige. I mean, he's one of those veteran linebackers in this league who's been probably a great influence on you. Obviously, a guy like Lyndon Trail who plays defensive end, but he also plays linebacker as well. I mean, what's it been like working with those guys at linebacker? Because for people who don't know, in the arena game, linebacker's a little bit different. You have the MAC, which is what you play.
Right.
You're constantly rushing. You're blitzing. Right. You're going after the running back, or you're going after the quarterback, or you're trying to make those open field tackles, or the jack linebacker, mostly in the coverage, which is within that box. I mean, for you, the adjustment from the outdoor game into the indoor game, playing linebacker, what's that been like for you, and what's it been like working with guys like LJ and Lyndon Trail?
It's been great. Obviously, LJ's a vet in this league, and he puts his heart and soul into every single snap. And I think when you come in, you see that, and you see how he approaches each and every day. Same with Trail. He gives it his all, and he's had success obviously through his football career and all that. But I think it just this whole team. I mean, the veterans across the board. You got Tron, who's just someone who you respect and look up to so much. You see how he approaches the game, and as you see what he did last weekend, I mean, that type of stuff gets you going. You got Monte on the other end as a vet. I mean, it goes all across the board as far as the DBs and all that too. And you get to work with guys, and you have leaders on the offense, and you got a quarterback like Hip, and you see him every day and how he approaches the game. And I'm lucky enough to go against someone like Ray in the middle every day at center. And the best thing about this team, as I'll say, is the older guys and the vets. I mean, they take you under their wing, man, and they let you know the ropes, and they show you how it's done. And no one's out there trying to, leave you blinded. Everyone's out there trying to help you and teach you different things. And when I say that about, especially with Ray, it's, when I'm rushing against him, he's been probably the most successful center in my eyes in arena football. So, there's times I come in and, you get blocked, you get stopped, and he sees, I'll get frustrated because sometimes you don't like to lose as a competitor, as an athlete, but right away he's going to fix it. He's going to tell me what I should have done or how to work on it to make it better for yourself. So, like I said, when you're surrounded by a group of guys like that, and and Death Row and that group, that whole, from Coach C's, like I said, to the vets, to Tron, Monte, and the rest of the cast that we have. I mean, it's a blessing. Like I said, we're surrounded by great guys, great talent, and I think that really just makes my job and everyone else's job a lot easier.
Would you say this is one of the best learning experiences you've gotten in your professional football career? Obviously, we mentioned before, you play with the Colts, you play with the Giants,
right.
You played in other stops in the indoor game as well, and obviously you had a successful college career, but you mentioned all the veterans on this team, and obviously there's a mix full of rookies on this team that are making big contributions like yourself. So, I mean, do you find this is probably the best learning experience you've gotten in professional football?
I definitely say so, and I want to just talk about the selfish. People aren't selfish on this team. You got someone like Wes, Oos, my roommate, who's took me under his wing from the jump. You know what I'm saying? The respect level, everything I have for him, I get to go against him every single day at fullback. Well, he plays linebacker. He's been a successful linebacker in this league as well, and to see him take his role this year and not play linebacker, and see him take his role and play fullback, and not just play fullback, excel at it, and the way he attacks every day. I mean, you see that type of stuff. You see the egos. You see guys how, that's not easy to do. I know he probably wants to get out there and rush the passer at times based off, what he does. But every day we go home and he teaches me new things and shows me new things. And same thing with him. I get to see and learn from who I believe right now is the best fullback in the league, hands down. I get to learn from him every day on what's going to work and what gives him his problems, So I think when you see that type of stuff and you see people who, put their pride aside and they buy in as a team, that's what we are here. We're a team, and coaches instilled that from the beginning, is that, if we're going to win a championship, you got to put the selfish stuff, aside. You got to do your job, and whatever's asked us to do is, I think we go out there and we work hard, and it goes across the board.
Championships are nice in Atlantic City. It is Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. We're going to step aside, take one last break. On the other side, we'll bring Coach back into the mix. A couple more previews about Columbus this weekend. We'll mix in some maybe some Boston questions as well. So keep it locked to 97.3 ESPN.
Atlantic City Blackjacks football is on 97.3 ESPN. Listen all season as the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko and Coffee Jones, bring you all the exciting play-by-play action.
Quarterback sneak over the goal line. Touchdown, Blackjacks.
The Blackjacks are in Columbus to face the Destroyers this Friday. Kickoff at 7 p.m. It's Atlantic City Blackjacks Arena League football on 97.3 ESPN. We're all in.
Tropicana Atlantic City is not just a 24-hour gaming destination, it's a premier resort providing entertainment for everyone. Located on the beach and boardwalk, it's home to a wide variety of restaurants, bars, pools, and their very own IMAX theater. This season, Tropicana Atlantic City is proud to team up with the Atlantic City Blackjacks as the 2019 inaugural season presenting sponsor. For more information, visit Tropicana.net. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. If you're looking for a great vehicle, Matt Blatt Kia is the place for you.
Hey,
April showers might bring May flowers, but they also bring spring savings at Matt Blatt Kia of Toms River and Matt Blatt Kia in Egg Harbor Township. Bring us your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Right now, you can lease a 2019 Kia Forte LX for only $199 per month for 36 months with zero total due at signing, zero security deposit, and zero first payment. You simply can't make a mistake. Plus, Matt Blatt Kia has the all-new Kia Telluride in stock. Matt Blatt Kia always offers our 4J Love It or Leave It return policy. If you have a job clearing $400 per week, Matt Blatt Kia wants to help you during the summer sticker sales event.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
Dial 888-703-6459 or go to mattblattkianj.com for complete details on offers. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. And now on Route 37 in Toms River.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Back here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Nick Kosko alongside head coach Ron James and linebacker Nick Haag. Just a reminder that the Blackjacks take on the Columbus Destroyers this Friday at 7 p.m. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. for pregame, as I will be on the call with Coffee Jones as always. As we'll be out in Columbus, Ohio. Catch the action right here on 97.3 ESPN. 3-3 Blackjacks, 0-6 Columbus Destroyers. Week 7 of arena football action. And now, Coach, we ask every week, uniform combination. I was told earlier by Brandon, but I'll confirm with you, all whites this week?
All white. We're going to be sharp looking this week, all white, all clean.
I know one guy who likes the all whites because I saw him in media day rocking it, and that's Nick right here to my right. I know he loves those icy whites, man.
I love it. I love the icy whites, man, so I couldn't be happy with
Well, hopefully this is a positive uniform combination because we know the All Blacks work well. What does everybody in the locker room want to burn the red jerseys already?
We've almost took a vote and just said, season ticket holders, if you wouldn't mind, we might donate those to you. That might be a little present, a little giveaway gift for you.
The red jerseys.
Yeah. We'll see how it works. We
got one guy, though, that doesn't want the all whites, and that's Ray. Ray McNeil, our center, does not want the all whites. Exactly. He doesn't want to look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
I think even Mark Lewis, Blackjacks kicker, he even said to me at practice today, he's like, I don't want I was like, all whites? What if we throw black pants or maybe even red pants? I was like, hey, all whites, you got to do it once in a while. You got to do it at least once a year. Maybe another time. It's a long road trip. Maybe if they work this week, we'll see.
They work this week, we'll see. And Columbus is wearing all black, so it's natural. But
it's natural.
You got to look at what's going on over there. So if they're wearing all black, we couldn't do the mix and match with our black stuff. So
we've talked uniforms on this show before. We mentioned how obviously we're biased, but I think we have the best uniforms in the Arena League.
Without a doubt.
Do guys over in Columbus or do guys outside that team like the black and silver Columbus Destroyers? I remember back when they were red, blue, or blue, red, and silver, actually, back about 10 years ago.
Well, they were red, white, and blue. The Valor has red, white, and blue.
So I guess you can't quite do that anymore.
You can't really replicate that.
Unfortunately.
But, hey, the uniform combination, no bearing on the score. So we got to make sure we're ready to play, and that's the big thing for us. So we're anxious to get on the road.
Well, hopefully we get some contributions from the defense as well as it was back in Week 2 and then carry that momentum from Saturday over into Week 7 this Friday night. Once again, catch that action, 7 p.m. this Friday. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. right here on 97.3 ESPN. Atlantic City at Columbus in Week 7 of the Arena Football League. And we'll see how this 4-game road trip goes. Philadelphia after that, Albany, and then back in D.C. before the final 2 home games sprinkled in with a bye week in the last 3 weeks of the season. Special thanks to linebacker Nick Haag for joining the program, and as always, head coach Ron James for joining me every single week. We will be back next Thursday, normal time, 6 p.m. right here at Chickies and Pete's. You've listened to Blackjacks Weekly on 97.3 ESPN.